that I appreciate there's a leadership review vote that I embrace the opportunity for accountability amongst our members. And there's a lot of people who have been frustrated with the past 2 years during COVID or have other reasons for wanting a leadership election. I respect that, and I welcome that, quite frankly. And I acknowledge that there are a lot of mainstream Conservatives who are frustrated with the past 2 tough years and would like a leadership election. I respect them and their perspective. At the same time, I have seen a growing number of voices from the far margins of Alberta politics that are, I would say, extreme and have been trying to get involved in the leadership process in our party. That does concern me. When I worked so hard over 3 years to help build the United Conservative Party, I committed that it would be a mainstream party reflective of the values of mainstream Albertans, and that we would not allow the kind of lake of fire incidents that we've seen in Conservative politics in this province in the past. And so I have been concerned about a group of people who typically would not be involved in a mainstream Conservative party seeking to get involved in this leadership election. You know, I'll give you some examples. Just 2 days ago, I was here in Calgary. I announced the new the Walmart Fulfillment Center with 325 permanent jobs. Great news. I went and checked out my Facebook, and the first and most popular comment said, no, quotes, Walmart is trafficking children on their US websites. They're part of the World Economic Forum. And the person who posted that is committing to vote against me in the UCP leadership, alleging that I am involved in a human trafficking ring with children, conspiring with Walmart in the World Economic Forum. I'd like to imagine that's just a one-off, but it's not, sadly. I remember I took a note of this just after having announced that we were dropping public health restrictions in this province several weeks ago. I checked out my Facebook, and someone posts, quotes, we're coming for you, Kenney. On April the 9th, we're taking you and your corrupt government down. You and the Jew-loving Great Reset tyrants are headed to the Nuremberg trial, unquote. Somebody who claimed that they were registering to vote in the UCP leadership campaign. We have somebody a number of people whose candidacies we vetoed in the last election, who are actively organizing to disrupt the party and to divide it. One of those individuals, Todd Beasley from Brooks Medicine Hat, was vetoed as a candidate because he had said on social media that, quotes, Muslims are really fools worshiping Satan. It's not a religion of peace. It's a cruel, revolting, racist, oppressive religion and has no legitimate basis. We excluded him as a candidate. This is a gentleman who's now been traveling around the province in the recent weeks to divide our party and sow the seeds of division. We have people involved in this leadership review campaign who organized a tiki torch rally at the legislature using explicitly images from the neo-Nazi rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017. We have people involved in this who left a noose on MLA Tracy Allard's front lawn following a protest which was an implicit threat. The same people who violated the privacy of Minister Copping's home and family, screaming that in his neighborhood that he was a mass murderer for promoting safe and effective vaccines. I could go on, but these are just a handful of the examples I have seen, the threats even against, I've mentioned this before, my 83-year-old mother that I've received. I know that these marginal voices do not represent Albertans. They certainly do not represent the United Conservative Party. But I am determined to ensure that such hateful, extreme, and divisive voices do not find a home in this mainstream, broad Conservative Party. And so that's an issue that is very much at play here, and I will not apologize for calling out these kinds of voices of division. In the past in Alberta politics, we've always had one or two kind of hard right parties that were, I guess, a natural home for people like this. There was 2 or 3% of the province that voted for hard right parties in the last election, provincial election, including Derek Fildebrandt's party, which is now called the WIP. And there was 1% that voted for the Maverick Party in the last federal election. So people who have hateful or extreme views, they can find a political home, but not in the United Conservative Party. If they do not believe in human dignity, they're not welcome in this party.